Hey, my lovelies. Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Daily Vibration. So if you're tuning in via Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, on my podcast, I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time out to check out the Daily Vibration. Okay, so beautiful day to you, each and every one of you. It is Wednesday, March 17th, 2021. Allergy season is in rare form. Everything is coming into bloom, guys. I went out yesterday and it was raining, but you can see all of the green pollen just floating in the streets. So do what you need to do to take care of yourself and your allergies. I know I am having to beef up in my allergy protection. The one thing I'm trying to master within this allergy right now is the runny eyes, guys, right? So keeping in mind it is Wednesday. Wednesday is ruled by Mercury, my loves, okay? So I also want to say, be mindful as you're moving throughout the day today to maybe pause before responding, pause before reacting, pause before you do anything. Okay, that's a message today. You may need to pause within this energy today as you're moving throughout the energy, right? So let's talk about this for a second, right? We want to talk about a few things here, okay? We want to mention, guys, ooh, sorry about that. I dropped my bell. Okay. All right. We want to mention to pause. We want to mention, as we're moving throughout the energy for the third month on the Gregorian calendar year, the 17th day, and it is the year 2021, okay? So when we add all of those numbers together, we're getting the number 7, okay? So the day itself is vibrating on the number 7. March, however, vibrates on the number 7 also, all right? When you add, when you also add in the number 7, again, within the 17th, you have a sequence of 7 going on, right? So one thing that comes into my mind, just something that's standing out for you guys to pay attention to, is the mastery of your chakra systems. I can't say how much that is important along the spiritual journey. If you have not started to study what the chakras are and how you can begin to master those aspects within you that are connected to your chakra systems, you need to start doing that now, okay? So that is very important, all right? So your 7 temples or the 7 churches or anything that's linked to 7 is really talking about your 7 power chakras, okay? That's really where that allegory comes from. Connecting the 7, anything symbolic to the number 7 is really a representation of your 7 chakras, which is all about inner, okay? So pay attention to what chakras may need you to be balanced in today, okay? So check in with yourself today, and you may literally have to pause. Some of you may have to shut some things down today, okay? We do have the number 1 showing up in the date twice, so we still have that same consistency with the number 1. So you want to avoid negative people today, right? Now, because the number 1 is the key to our communication skills and how we verbally express ourselves, as well as the expression of divine energy, right? AKA you're really tapping into one's ego here within this number, right? Keeping in mind, number 1 vibrates on the physical plane, right? So energy from the physical plane today that you may want to tap into to the number 1 today is motivation, right? You may want to motivate yourself today as you're moving throughout this energy, right? Don't depend on others to motivate you today. And for some of you, you may literally need to pause and think about what you want before you move forward, all right? So rest in some of that energy today is pausing before you move forward, all right? Especially if it tends to be raining and you don't really have to do much. You may want to just cuddle up and watch, just chill, just like literally shut it down and just chill and listen. Pause and listen, okay? Now, keeping in mind also, some of you may need to be mindful with this number 1 energy that you have the power to create your own reality. So as you pause, begin to listen. You want to begin to weed out other people's thoughts and things that are not linked to you, okay? So let's talk about the number 3 today as you're moving throughout the day. Number 3 is connected to the mental plane. And as you're dealing with the energy that's connected to the mental plane, you also want to understand that this is where you begin to use a memory within your imagination, okay? So this is where you can imagine and create from memory. Some of you, this is where you begin to tap into past lives, is through this plane. You begin to remember, right? is through this gateway plane. Okay, keeping in mind the number 3 is also the number of ascending masters. Okay, you know, when we talk about angels, we're really talking about angles of light code information that dwells within you. Okay, also, let me just say this too. The sun is still in Pisces, right? Which means that you can learn a lot about yourself if you're going within right now, within this energy, right? You can literally learn a lot about yourself if you're going to utilize the number 3 today. Right? The moon is still in Taurus. Okay, that can bring in some stability. That can also bring in, I want to say, don't get too puffed up in your ego about the materialistic things that as you're moving throughout this energy. Okay, maybe don't be a bully today and don't be too stubborn within this energy. Okay, lean towards more the balancing of that Venus energy within this moon. Okay, which means that you may have to pause. That word is coming out again, like you may literally have to pause, okay? When you add the date up, the 17th day, you're getting the number 8. You know, the number 8 is all about that inner divine wisdom. Now, let me just say this also about the number 8. The number 8 on the flip side can also be foolish energy, which means that you are not listening to the wisdom and all that is being given to you in just the simple things. We're not even talking about the spiritual things. We're talking about just wisdom that flows through you throughout the day that you can utilize, right? Some of you are going to have to tap into that wisdom today. Like sometimes wisdom is going to tell you, okay, you're speaking too much. Don't share that, but you share it anyway, right? Or sometimes wisdom may say to you, you know what, you need to speak up a little bit more and be a little bit more assertive, right? But you don't do that, right? Sometimes wisdom would say to you, you know what, let's just walk away from this situation because this really does not serve you, nor is it worth your energy or your time, but you choose not to do that, right? Sometimes wisdom would tell you to stand up for yourself and you choose to do that, and then you regain that empowerment that you need, right? So utilize wisdom today. Wisdom is speaking. Wisdom is always speaking. She is always speaking, honey, okay? And if you're quiet enough today and if you're on pause today, you can utilize that inner wisdom that is flowing up and through your spirit, right? Wednesday's ruled by Mercury's energy. Now, keep it in mind, like, this is the thing, right? None of these messages and none of these vibrations that I give out is for you to get stuck in any of this. We're talking about a system of codes, right? And if you understand the numbers to the codes, if you understand the concept as well as the structure behind these systems like astrology, theology, if you begin to understand the systems, the code and the archetypes, you can rise above them. You can master yourself and rise above this, so you do not need to get dumbed down and stuck in any reality or in any experience that you do not want to be a part of, right? So let me explain something to you. What you get to a level on this walk where you can see other people running in hysteria, but your spirit is telling you to stay calm. Now, the people around you may not even realize and understand that there is so much power and there is so much resources within the calmness. They don't realize that, right? When you're running around historical, like when you're running around crazy and anxious, right? And you're not able to, and I might have said that word wrong, so hysterical. When you're running around hysterically, right? There's so much energy being lost and utilized in the wrong direction that if you take the time to begin and get calm, right, answers can flow to the situation concerned, okay, and how it can be solved, okay? So you want to keep that in mind as you're moving throughout the day, okay? Number 8 brings in that wisdom that you can tap into, right? We know that the year is vibrating on number 5, and the one thing that I just have to keep explaining to you as you're moving throughout this energy this year, right? Learn to be flexible, right? We're stepping into Aries season on around the 21st of the month. Now that's a whole nother story. Like, this is the thing, if you understand the archetypes and the energy that's coming into play, right, you can master yourself. Now I also want to say this, right, you don't necessarily need to study any of this to get this. Some people just innately know these things and they naturally follow the transits of the universe without ever picking up a book and studying anything, because they're that in tuned, right? So what I'm saying to you is get in tuned. Get in tune with you. Get in tune with nature. Get in tune with being quiet so you can hear what's being said to you, right? Get in tune, right? Message today is pause. The message is pause. right? So I got a lot of things popping off, right? And as soon as we enter Aries season, there's going to be some new things coming. I know I said I'm going to have new things coming in March. I should have told you guys Aries season. I don't know about you guys, but right now I just want to relax. This energy just makes me feel like I want to relax and jot things down and get things organized. So I feel like once I hit that Aries energy, and this is what I'm feeling internally, like there's just that get up and go. There's a preparedness that's happening, right? So take the time to pause today and think. Okay, take the time to pause today and listen. Take the time to pause today and feel, okay? Pause. You don't have to press that pause button a day, okay? All right, my loves, you know the deal. Do something kind for yourself. Love yourself. Honor yourself, okay? Don't forget not to be afraid of the dark, because out of darkness comes the enlightenment. Okay, you master your dark side. You're mastering so much more than you... listen, y'all. There's so much that lives in that aspect of yourself. All right, be kind to yourself. I'm gonna see you guys in tomorrow daily vibration. Bye, my loves.